Okay. Hello and welcome everybody to our final week of Siege of the Seas for the month of July. We start off the day's proceedings with Mad Bastards versus JW44, and the map for today is Friar's Lantern Domination. Two strong teams up against each other, and in a map that is traditionally meant for you know bigger teams. Let's see how these teams go up against each other. Dimebag in a Roma, Ron in a Congress, Bannerberger with his Cleveland, and Mute also running a cruiser. We see an absence of any destroyers across both teams. On the JW44 side, we have Payback, also in Aroma. Vito running a mines. That's interesting. Stanislav in his traditional Soviet cruiser, and Mex in a DZP. Now, the DZP has a huge advantage in this match because of the fact that the DZP has those spotter planes, has an engine accelerator, and can, uh, you know, run around making a mess of things. Okay, so we see Stani uh, going towards C. It doesn't look like he's interested in capping very much, which is the smart thing to do since he's up against a Congress and a Black Charles Martel, which can absolutely rip him to pieces. The Charles Martel takes B quickly using the engine accelerator and keeps flanking. Interesting move there from Mute. Let's see if he has found the Chapayev, and if he does, will he open his sub? Yes, he does. So Stani being targeted on both sides by a Congress and the Charles Martel. That's going to be a nasty situation for him. Meanwhile, let's go across and take a look at what's happening on A cap, where Payback got into cap but is being targeted by a Cleveland and Dimebag's Roma. That's a lot of incoming fire for Payback. And if Dime starts pushing him now, that'll be deeply unpleasant. But Dauntless knows how to play this ship, he knows how to survive. We've seen him pull back wins from against incredible odds, so don't count him out just yet. Meanwhile, I would love to see Dime pushing in a bit more and playing the ship more aggressively, um, taking because Bannerberger is hurt and he's hit bad. Excellent use of the throttle there by Banner. He's really making it hard for Payback and for Vito as well. Vito hiding behind the rocks. He doesn't want to get into the crosshairs of a Roma. Smart man. And now it's Dime's turn to take a little bit of a beating. But he will possibly just get in there, maybe cap, and let's see if he goes for blood, or does he just deny the enemy team any points coming in. They still they have control of C now though, and Mute is facing some good fire from Stani, who takes one torpedo. Maybe Ron should be pushing in and should be targeting. But let's see how this one plays out. Ooh, Dime is having a rough time. Just lost a turret there and he's hurt. He has to back away. He's on fire. I think he will go down. A triple perma fire there. Stanny goes down, but so will Dime. Oh, yes, he does. Still, uh, random bastards have a slender points margin and they hold two of the caps, but not for long. Let's see how RMB sort this situation out. They have control of C cap now, and none of these two cruisers want to fight a Congress, but they just might have to. Honestly, I think Ron made a mistake pushing late, and now he's making another mistake by trying to chase Payback around the island instead of turning in. Of course, he doesn't have the what would you say, the bird's eye view access, so he doesn't know where Payback is. But let's see. Meanwhile, Bana just clinging on to dear life. He's waiting for Payback to spot the Congress and switch his guns to him before he makes a move. This is a close tactical battle, folks. Not an easy one. Interesting, very interesting match. Ron should be able to take down Payback, even though it will hurt him. Or not a lot, though. So I think RMB have been lucky to, or just incredibly patient and have outplayed their opposition. They take this match. Oh, oh. Do we see a final kill here from either of these teams? Ooh, that was so close, so close. Good attempt by Vito. Takes out Mute, but it's too little too late. Excellent work by RMB to take their first win of the evening. Let's take a pause here and come back with the next match soon. Alright, welcome back. Let's see how RMB go on and face P Squad. We see we see one change from RMB. Ron switches from a Congress to a Belfast. Meanwhile, P Squad with their favored lineup, and again we see no destroyers being used.
Бой начинается.
This will be an interesting match to see. Okay, so Romatha in his Roma, Wolf in a DZP, Senjutsu in a Belfast 43, and Lustig in a Bayard face off against Roma, Belfast 43, Black Charles Martel, and the Cleveland. So both teams facing off against each other with the Belfast 43 and the Roma going wide instead of capping. What they, I think, want to do is target the cruiser that is narrow, which is the Belfast 43. The Black Charles Martel in an interesting position. He will use everything in his power to first take down, I think, the DZP, and then focus his fire on the Bayard. Again, these are two light cruisers, and the Black Charles Martel can target them mercilessly if he is in the right position. Okay, meanwhile, at A cap, we see a firefight breaking out. Romatha being targeted by Dimebag, who is targeted in return by the Belfast 43, and the smoke from the Belfast covers the Roma as well. Dimebag on the back foot and Banner being pushed back. He's facing stiff opposition from the DZP, the Bayard, the Belfast, and the Roma circling as well. So let's see if he can keep his head and keep his ship. Meanwhile, those two cruisers, unopposed, to run into B, cap B, and start opening up on the Bayard. Good target selection there, because the Bayard is a light cruiser and will take a lot of damage from both of these ships. Oof. You see that chunk damage. Ron should split off and cut off the Bayard's retreat. Meanwhile, Mute will head off and hunt the DZP. Oh, Dimebag looks unhealthy. He's not enjoying this at all. Solid salvo there by Mute. I think the next salvo will put the Bayard out of commission. And Dime doing the right thing, pulling away and just, I want to say sucking off the opposition, but he's taken the opposition out of the game and basically ensured that they're all out of position there. Meanwhile, Banner is about to go down under stiff fire from everybody now. It's only a matter of when. Hugging the edge of the map, he should be narrow. He shouldn't give broadside like that. That won't turn out too good. And the DZP will finish him off. Yes, there you go. So a good reply from B Squad, but they might be regretting this choice, because the Belfast 43 goes down even though he really had no need. Ooh. Meanwhile, now the DZP is up against it. He's facing some opposition, and if the Charles Martel has anything to say about it, the DZP isn't long for this word. Meanwhile, Dime is taking the long way, the scenic way around the map, but to no avail. He goes down. But what he has done is he has dragged Romatha so far out of position that it'll take half this match for Romatha to swing his guns around and get back into the action. And meanwhile, RMB in control of all three cabs. That means every second that passes, their points lead is just increasing. They don't need to get another kill. All they need to do is just survive. Even if they don't take out the DZP, if they survive the next minute and a half, which I'm sure is easily possible, they have this match. Again, good play by the two cruisers, who've done well to survive this long. Torps coming in to Rumatha. Let's see if he takes one or two. Uh, yep, he takes two. And the Charles Martel being full out aggressive as he has to be. There's no room for him to run off to. Rumatha will take two more torps from the Belfast. Let's see if he goes down. Good aim from Mute. Three more torpedoes. And I think Rumatha goes down. Nicely done. Good execution. If RMB had 30 more seconds on the clock, they could have taken down this DCP as well. Ooh, that was close. So two excellent matches from RMB who've really improved their gameplay over the last 3 weeks and have won their first two matches. Good going, boys. Let's take another short break and we'll be back when the next match start is. Alright, boys and girls, welcome back. We have Windy up against P Squad. Let's see if P Squad can improve the performance in this match. The last match was closer than the points margin reflected. It was just a matter of being outthought by the RMB players. Let's see if they change things around. Windy have Yuki in the Flandre, Palisade acting as a substitute in this DZP, Blaze in a Belfast, and Distortion in the Orkan. Fan is unavailable tonight, so they've brought in a substitute in Palisade. Now, Orkan is a nice, interesting little DD to play, and I know Distortion likes playing that ship, so let's see how a DD faces off against these ships. Straight up, we see the Belfast starting to take fire, and he loses a chunk of health. That radar really working out for Windy. He might even take a torp or two. Yes, he does. Puts out the flood and the fire, but Senjutsu is in all sorts of trouble here. Senjutsu goes down. Something was wrong with my internet. And yeah, I'm okay. Distortion putting out torpedoes against Rumatha from near point blank range. So Rumatha has taken torpedoes and planes going off on him as well. This is not looking good, folks. This is absolutely not looking good for my internet and for Rumatha as well. He heals up, but now he's on a perma-fire, and Windy will be hoping to start another fire on him and make Rumatha pay. Meanwhile, Lustig, again losing health quickly. He needs to go wider when he's playing this Bayard, because it's going to take a lot of damage from everything around him. And the thing is, at this level, every player knows to switch to AP against the Bayard. Now Wendy's switching fire to the Bayard and he will go down quick. If not to those bombs, then to the guns of the Belfast 43. Blaze doing the right thing to use AP against the Bayard, finish him off quickly and take back your cap, man. Bala running into the action as well. He doesn't have much to fear. This game is all but over, folks. Wolf facing stiff opposition here, and there's not much he can do about it. He can drop the Flandre with a couple of bombs, light a permafire, do whatever, but there's no way for him to survive. And Yuki will gladly soak up that damage. Doesn't bother him at all. A match finished in near record time by Wendy, who've outthought, outplayed, and outgunned P Squad relatively easily. Alright, we'll be back for the next one, folks. Alright, folks, welcome back to what promises to be a cracker of a match. Grossapruder, WG, Leverkusenman, and Elrad from the Bananas, Admiral Hipper, Belfast, Borodino, and DCP up against an unchanged Windy team that just blew away P Squad in the last match, facing off against each other. These are two of the tournament favorites, and this match will go down to the wire any which way. So let's see how this one plays out.
Бой начинается.
WG in the Belfast quickly turning towards B, and Grossabruder going straight. I think they will cross over here somewhere. I can't. Somewhere near the island at B. Meanwhile, Blaze on the opposite side of the map will take C from a narrow position. Windy sticking to what they do best, putting 3 ships up against 2 and going for overwhelming odds. They will target the cruiser first, try to knock him out as quickly as possible, and work their way on from there. The spotter plane goes out on both sides. Bombers, but they're being used as spotters, and distortion. Ooh. Now we see salvos going off from both sides, the Borodino being focused down hard, and A cap is taken by the 3 ships of Windy. Distortion needs to be careful though because his smoke is pretty much useless against Elrad's DZP with his access to radar. Leverkusenman narrowly avoids the torp, scrapes the paint, but fails to hit him. And Yuki in all sorts of trouble here. immediately. Meanwhile, these two cruisers have a job against that Belfast. WG also narrowly avoiding torps, but they will push and take C cap. There's nothing Blaze can do to avoid that or to prevent that from happening. The maximum he can do is just torpedo WG and hope that he hurts him some way. Two torps on WG and Palasite backing up and opening fire on WG as well. One more salvo should do it. Yeah, there goes. But Blaze, clinging on to dear life, he's not going to survive this if the salvo hits, and yes, he goes down. So both Belfast down, and the Hipper is in trouble here as well. Pala should, I think, charge him or at least use HE because he's hitting the armor belt and not causing as much damage as he could. If he wants to hit a Grosser at the nose, ooh, and on the other flank, the Flandre goes down to the Borodino, as expected. Meanwhile, Elrad facing some stiff opposition from a little DD like the Orkan. I don't know if it's a testament to Elrad, to the Orkan, or to Distortion that he can confidently face off against the DZP at range and give the DZP a tough time. Let's see if Leverkusenman fares any better. The Orkan doesn't have the Alpha Strike to take down the Borodino at this point, but he can make a nuisance of himself. Those torpedoes look good though. Won't be able to start a flood because Leverkusenman just... Oh, yes! Distortion goes down and UKRF have control of all three caps. They are three ships up against one, and there's not much Palasite will be able to do here. Beautiful work by UKRF, who lost in the last round 4-0 and have come back very, very strongly and finished off a stiff resistance from Windy. Extremely good play by them, and especially so from Leverkusenman. He played the Borodino exactly as you would want it to be played. Alright, boys and girls, welcome back. An unchanged UKRF that just demolished Windy in their last match is facing off against JW44, Martin Dino in a Roma leading the line, and three cruisers at his side. Let's see what their makeup is. DZP, Mines, and Cleveland. Strong lineup. Actually, not an unchanged one. It's just Leverkusenman in the Borodino faces off against And WG in the Belfast, they have two substitutes: Chrissy Boy in the Black Admiral Hipper and Al Kaboom in the DZP. The DZP takes his position alongside Leverkusenman, working his way across the map, while WG sticks with the Black Admiral Hipper and they will take C. They're going to face off against a Mines and a Cleveland. I think they have the firepower of the Black Hipper, and that should be enough to take out both of these ships. Leverkusenman avoids those the DCP spot planes, but he's been spotted. Let's see if he gets targeted first or if the DZP of El Kaboom is the first target for GW44. And it looks like the Bernardino will get focused first. Poor bombing there by Tomania, but they have control of the cap. So, and Leby is suffering early damage here. Not that he's going to be worried about it, he can always just back away and repair. Meanwhile, Martin in the Roma has a taste of those bombs, and the DZP, played by Tomania, is getting hit hard as well. Leb takes a cap and starts working over the Roma. It would have been interesting to see a black Vittorio Veneto this week. That's a very strong ship. I think I haven't played it on the press account yet, but I think it should be slightly better than the Roma, which of course is the meta ship. Ooh, Kaboom takes a solid salvo here. He's lost one turret and about 50% of his HP. But in return, Tomania has lost 70% of his HP and he's about to lose some more. Good press there by Leby. Unfortunately, the dispersion prevents him from taking out Tomania. Let's see if he can do it in the next salvo. Interesting little play here. Let's switch to the other flank and see how Trafelix is facing off against a Belfast. Tomania goes down, no surprises there. Meanwhile, Trafelix is facing the full force of a Black Admiral Hipper and a Belfast. Not a pleasant situation to be in. The mines has already been pushed out. He's using HE for some reason, and not for long though. He's been killed. So the Roma is left with everything to do here. He has to take down 3 ships if he wants to win this, and I don't think even a Roma can pull that off. Only a matter of time now, and UKRF have won this quite convincingly in the end. Down goes Martin to WG's guns, And this match is done and dusted. Well played, UKRF. Leverkusenman picks up his second MVP of the stream, and I'm sure there will be more to come. Alright, folks, let's take another break and I'll see you on the flip side. Alright, welcome back, ladies and gents. We seem to have missed a couple of matches, but let's pick up from where we can. We're watching LGR versus Sales. This will be a tight, tough match, and let's see how it plays out. Borodino played by Stefanovic, Termitus in a Belfast 43, Takis in a Xianyang. Interesting choice. I hope he does well in that. And Nick plays the Congress up against Dimitri in a Cleveland, Blerend crossing over to the other side with his Belfast 43, Brada in the Mines going to support Dimitri, and the Roma played by the flagship boy himself, Big Dave. So LGR sending up 3 ships at A-cap up against the Roma and the Belfast, with possible crossfire by Brada in the Mines. Let's see how Takis deals with the threat of a Cleveland. Does he switch over completely to A flank and target the Roma and the Belfast, and make a menace of himself, or does he want to take on 2 cruisers? And will Dimitri understand that B cap is unopposed and charge in, or does he play a more static stationary role? Opening salvos out, Termitus getting hit, but surviving for the most part. He motors on out of his smoke, and Big Dave taking the bulk of the punishment from LGR. Meanwhile, Takis rakes his torpedoes. Are they sufficient enough range? Do they have range to hit Big Dave or not? That we will find out soon enough. Blerend spots those torps for Dave. Takes one. And yeah, Dave should be fine. Meanwhile, the Cleveland taking B cap, which is unopposed, and Blerend taking A cap as well. Things not looking good for LGR. Termitus is hurt, but he can't run off from this position. His best bet is to take out Blerend, which he probably will do. Takis takes him out. Now it's all up to the Mines. Can he reply with a quick kill on something or the other? Ooh, Stefanovic looking decidedly unhealthy. He's taken a bunch of needless torps. And as soon as he comes out, he's going to get hit by Brada. I don't think Brada should be that adventurous, because there is a Xianyang and a Congress waiting for him on the other side, as well as the backup from Belfast. So he should reverse, but he's going forward. He has blood on his mind. He wants to take down Stefanovic. Sales have a relatively good position. They're 3 versus 4, but they have the enemy surrounded. Dave backing off. He's hurt. He is looking to disengage and at the same time hit the Borodino for whatever he can. They do have a points lead, so and Big Dave takes down the Borodino, opens up a major points lead. I don't think he can survive against the Congress, but he's done his job. It's up to the two cruisers now, the Cleveland and Brada. Brada should disengage at this point and leave the Cleveland to take the bulk of the damage. Maybe Brada backs off, hits the Belfast for whatever he can. And this way, the Cleveland can disengage, and basically that'll be the end of it. Torpedoes going out from mines. I was about to call those, but Brada knows what he's doing. Termitus replying with some salvos of his own. He's a smart player. He won't go down that easy. And Takis doing the right thing, capping B again, and that puts some pressure back onto and Brada goes down. Everything on Dimitri now. Does he make the mathematical decision to disengage, or does he go bloodthirsty and hunt down the Belfast? I think it'll be a bit of both, actually. Termitus living dangerously at the moment. Not for long though. He's out, and 7 seconds to go. Sails take this by the skin of their teeth. Well played by them. Big Dave getting MVP. A little undeserved, but alright. That's how the game counts it. Okay, folks, let's see what we have on the menu after we return from this break. Alright, folks, we have Technolust up against LGR now. This will be a tough, tight match.
Tutti ai posti di combattimento.
Roma, Mines, DZP, and Belfast up against Congress, DZP, Belfast, and Borodino. Again, we see a lack of DDs here, which as a battleship player makes me happy, but also tactically, I think this is a decision which I don't completely agree with. I'd love to see a DD in there somewhere. Obviously not played by me. Corbin in the mines will take B and will motor on up ahead. If he is feeling adventurous, he will find the DZP and will hunt him down. The DZP, of course, sending out planes. He spots Corbin immediately, and meanwhile, 3 ships from LGR headed towards A cap. They will take A, but will they stand the crossfire is what the question is. Ooh, Takis takes a severe beating with the first salvo. Belfast with 80 rounds, and the DZP played by Caspax firing his HE rounds. Takis was lucky there to not take more of a beating, but he does go down. And C-Cap being taken by Corbin. As predicted, he's facing the DZP and chasing him out. Not much the DZP can do against a mines. Those guns will tear him up, and at close range, Corbin also has access to his torpedoes. The only hope for the DZP is to drag Corbin out of position and keep him guessing, but Corbin is too smart a player for that to happen. Stefanovic, meanwhile, starts feeling the brunt of Kaspex's love, and I'd love to see Kaspex play a little more adventurous, maybe take a cap, but he's facing a Congress and a Borodino. I don't know if he wants to be that adventurous. He doesn't need to be. And this Russian team is known for its patience and their almost chess like play of this game. So they don't want to make mistakes. Like one of their favorite chess players, Tigran Petrosyan, this team is content to sit back, play defensive, and let the enemy make mistakes. And it looks like it's paying off for them. The Congress goes down. Now they can seize the initiative and hunt down this Borodino with for everything they're worth. Corbin not having a nice time, but Termitus has run out of map and is forced to brawl a mines. Not a situation that Termitus would like to be in, and the ideal situation for Corbin. If he has access to rapid reload, this matchup is pretty much done and dusted. Even though that he has way less HP. Ooh, those torps look good, and Corbin living dangerously but living large. He's done it. Meanwhile, Stefanovic in an unpleasant situation, doing his best, not having a good time, and he's out for the count. GG to Technolost, and a well-deserved victory for them. Alright folks, one last match coming up, stay tuned. Alright folks, welcome back one last time for this month. We see Fails up against Technolust. Stani switching from his traditional Russian cruiser to a mines. Let's see how he plays this one out.
General quarters.
DZP Black Takao played by Dauntless, a Mines played by Stani, and Vito in a Richelieu. Interesting choices. They go up against an unchanged Technolust team. Techno know what they're good at with each ship, and they stick to it. They have a game plan, and they, by God, they are not going to change it. One early spotter plane goes out by DZP. Let's see if he's spotted something. I don't think he has. The DZP from Fails sends out his plane, And he's going to certainly spot Corbin. There you go. Mines versus Mines in B and C. Meanwhile, Caspax. Oh, those torps look really, really good. Good torpedoes by Dauntless. Even if they don't find their mark, they are going to push the Belfast out of the cap and leave the Roma isolated. Gleb in some trouble, but so is Vito. He's lost a good chunk of his health, doesn't know which way to turn, and he is being targeted. Oh, that was a satisfying salvo, though. Vito would have loved that one. Remember to check on his stream and see from his perspective what that salvo was like. Those torps, though they look good. They looked good, they weren't effective though. But the Roma, oh, Gleb goes down, but the Roma will punish the Richelieu. Let's see if he can take him out. He won't mind a couple of torpedoes, a few planes, as long as he gets to take out Vito and shut down this cap completely. Meanwhile, Corbin, trying to live dangerously, he takes a bunch of torpedoes and he goes down to the Black Takao. Wonderful gameplay by Dauntless. And the Richelieu goes down as well, 215 to 212. This match is too close to call, folks. But Caspax now in a bit of a problem here. Does he go after the Takao? Does he run? Does he face off against mines? Decisions. There's no way he can face the mines. He has to run. And Stanley will block off C as well. The Roma goes down. Caspax left all on his own. He will not be able to mount a comeback. Techno lose this match. Excellent gameplay by Payback. He is my MVP for this match. I don't care what the computer says. Widespread of torpedoes there, very well launched. They are going to force Caspax to turn, even if they don't have the range to hit Caspax, and shepherd him into the edge of the map where he will be hunted down by those three cruisers. That's it, folks, for this month and for this match. Gallant try from Technolust, but to no avail. Payback and Fails take this match quite easily in the end. Excellent gameplay from them. So that's it for the day and for the month. Thank you everybody for watching, and please hit the like and subscribe button if you enjoyed this month's commentary. Thank you and goodbye.